Hi everyone. Hello Facebook land. Hello, this is Jane from Better Reading, and this is our Better Reading B segment, and we do it once a month, usually on the last Tuesday of the month, and we discuss books that help you be inspired, or be well, or be happier, or be less stressed, be healthier. So those are the books that we're choosing. Generally, they are non-fiction books. Occasionally, we'll throw in a novel there, but generally they're non-fiction, and we discuss them today. And we just do a little segment where we show you just a handful of books that we think could help you out in some way if you're stressed, or if you're struggling, or just generally like living in this particular era in time. Okay, we've got them coming in now. Hello, Carolyn. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Janine. Hi, love this segment. Thank you. Mary. Hi, Jane. Hi. So yes, I'm Jane Tara. This is Better Reading B. It is different to our What Are You Reading segment every Thursday, where we all discuss what we're reading. This is actually where we sort of talk about how we are, and some books that are out there at the moment that might help you or inspire you or educate you in some way, just to have a happier, healthier life, and a happier, healthier you. So, hi, Jules, hi, Jane, Petra, hi, Jane, Suzanne, hi, Jane, Alison, hello, Malvina, nice to be here. Thanks, Jane. Hi, Malvina. Okay, we've got them all coming in now. That's great. So, if you have read anything non-fiction that you've found really inspiring or educational in some way recently, let me know in the chat. The other thing is, what sort of books, like maybe you're going through in something in life at the moment. It might be health, or it might be relationship issues, or whatever, that you're looking for something to inspire you and support you as you move forward in your life. And I can always keep an eye out for those titles as well. Sue, hello. Helen, hello. Great to see you all. Okay. I'm going to start with this book that I'm actually going to focus on a bit more next month, but I just want to show you, because I've already received it this month. It's not out yet, but I just wanted to touch on it because it's Isabel Allende, and it's The Soul of a Woman. And if you know Isabel's last book, A Long Petal of the Sea, we all know her books, and especially The House of Spirits, which remains one of my favourite all-time books. But her last book, The Long Petal of the Sea, sort of had this type of cover. It is so beautiful, and as you can see, it's quite a small book. And I will talk about this more next month once it's out. I think it's out on the 2nd or 3rd of March, so you haven't got long to wait. But I have read it already. I read it, I lay there the other night actually reading it before I went to sleep, and it is such a beautiful, look at that cover. It is a beautiful book. And Isabel writes on the back, "I want to light the torches of our daughters and granddaughters with mine. They will have to live for us as we lived for our mothers, and carry on the work still left to be finished." It's a book about feminism and her journey as a feminist from a child who saw her mother deserted by her father, and without a voice and without any resources to raise her 3 children. And Isabel's sort of coming of age in the 1960s, and then in the 1970s, through that feminist era, and the softening over the last sort of couple of decades as she's moved into that sort of older woman era. And so it is a book about women. It's a book about aging. It is a book about empowering the next generation, and what we still need to do as women for younger women. And I love that, lighting the torch. Yeah, so that's what she's doing. I wouldn't call it a call for arms. I actually do think it is a lighting of the torch, and it's her way of doing that. So I think that is wonderful. Isabel Allende is a great author. Yeah, absolutely. Rosalind says, hello, Jane. Hi, Rosalind. Nasli, is that how I pronounce it? Nasli, that's a beautiful name. Inclusify by Stephanie Johnson. I haven't heard of that, but I will look it up. Monica says, love Isabella Lante. My favourite is House of Spirits. Same. I think I was just telling the girls here in the office that I've read it about 4 times. Nasli, Inclusify. Okay, I am going to check that out. And you are watching us on YouTube. Yay, which is fantastic, because it's not only on Facebook, it is actually, we're doing this on YouTube as well. So if there's ever a problem on Facebook, hello, yeah, we're always on YouTube. And in fact, you know, we're there. And we're going to be adding all of our events and all of our author talks and you know, all of the What Are You readings that I do with Cheryl. They're all going to be on YouTube as well. So we're going to have our own little channel over there for you to scroll through and watch things. So this book was written for me this week. You see the title? I'm so effing tired. So don't know whether you can tell. So this arrived and I was like exhausted and kind of, you know, I have a lot of these books often arrive at my house too. I give them the address there to send them. And I looked at this one and thought, I have to read this and I have to talk about this. And I'm so glad I did, because it's really, really enjoyable. It's by Dr. Amy Shah. And she certainly knows her stuff, and it's all sort of a subject area that I'm fascinated by, and generally try to incorporate into my life, but clearly not in the last few weeks because I'm wrecked. So, you know, what happens when your energy gets to that point where you just wake up every day going, oh, well, I might as well not have even slept, you know, and you've got to get through the day. So this is a proven plan to beat burnout, boost your energy and reclaim your life. And it is about incorporating a 3-pronged sort of attack on that with what you eat, when you eat, and why you're stressed. And in it, she puts a really amazing program to follow, and I think it's 2 weeks. So all of those things we kind of know and we think about, but she adds the science into this book in a really readable, relatable way. And it's all about our hormones and, you know, all of our chemicals and chemical reactions and our hormones and how each of those hormones plays a role in impacting our energy and how it is also connected into the gut. And so reading this, I wasn't overwhelmed with too much information. A lot of it we already know, and if you don't know it, it's a great way to learn it in a book like this. And then you can start to actually put that in place in your life. And one of the things she talks about, which I mean, Cheryl and I've discussed this actually, is fasting. And how important fasting is for your energy levels. And I absolutely agree. I generally do fast, and I haven't been for the last couple of weeks, and I feel like a wreck. But when I am fasting, and when you talk about fasting, it's really just like, you know, you're either sort of missing dinner or you're missing breakfast, or you're having all of your meals in, say, a 6 to 8 hour window, which is what I do. When I do that and don't snack and don't drink and don't, you know, after that, I wake up feeling fantastic after a few days. So Mary says, so good about tiredness, must look it up. Oh, yes, I've heard about fasting. Honestly, it makes such a difference in my life. And at the moment, I'm not doing it and I can feel it. And I'm like, okay, this weekend, I'm actually going to put into practice a lot of what she's talking about in this book and do it over the next 3 or 4 days. And next week I should look really fabulous for you all. So, yes, so why are you so effing tired? It's got great stuff in here. It all comes down to hormones, inflammation, and the gut. And it's really that simple, and she does lay it out in a very, very simple way and readable way. It's really enjoyable read, actually. I didn't feel like I was sort of overwhelmed with too much medical stuff or textbook stuff. The energy type trifecta, and if you can get all of these balanced and they are all interconnected, then you just immediately, your energy does lift, and you just have a completely different approach to your day. So hormones, the immune system, and gut health, and that's the big trifecta. So I enjoyed this immensely, what I've read so far. I'm going to continue it over the weekend. I'm actually going to do some of the stuff that's in it, and I'll let you know next month how it goes. In fact, I'll be so filled with vitality and so vibrant that you'll be like, oh, that book worked. Okay, so I'll come back to that next month. I love that title, Tracy. Yeah, same here. Kylie, I'm watching through Facebook. Yep, we're streaming on both Facebook and on YouTube. Agatha, lots of K's there. Whatever, you're excited to be here. Very good. Jenny, loving when apricots bloom. Oh, I raved about that book, so definitely that was one of my favourites last year. Melissa, our hormones are responsible for so much. They certainly are. And you've got your happy hormones and your stress hormones, and you try and lower the stress hormones and you lift your happy hormones. But sometimes we're like, how do we do that? And something like this is a roadmap. And this is what I love about this segment, that there are really great books out there that don't have to take away from us reading our fiction, which we adore here. I often listen to these on audiobook, actually. I listen to a lot of my non-fiction in the car to and from work, but other than that, a couple are beside my bed and I read them and just gather information about how to incorporate healthy habits into my life. The next book that I'm going to talk about is When We Become Strangers by Maggie Hamilton. And Cheryl mentioned this last week in What Are You Reading, because she did a podcast with Maggie. So you can go on and listen to the podcast. Great conversation with Maggie. She's a very, very interesting woman and best-selling author. And her latest is When We Become Strangers, how loneliness leaks into our lives and what we can do about it. Now, it's interesting because you might actually, be married with a few children or whatever, and you think, well, loneliness doesn't apply to you, but it's about connection, and that can often be included while you're in the midst of a very big, noisy family as well. And this book covers every type of disconnection or loneliness that we might feel in today's society, and how it's all set out. When We Become Strangers, contents. Okay, so you'll see lots of different chapters, and in each chapter there's lots of information in each chapter. So it starts with iGen kids, so this generation of children that are all addicted to devices, and gives us a lot of information on that and stats on that, which is really interesting, and also what to do about that to give kids more balance in their lives. Parenting right now, so that moves into that. Home alone, so actually if you live alone, and how to approach having a more connected life if you live in a single person household. The empathy deficit, so talking about empathy in today's world, and also how to really sort of encourage that more especially in young people around you. Brain fatigue, going into this because we're also effing tired. So what's messing with our brains and how to have a brain reset. Working, how work is set up. So, there's something for everyone in here, including me. I really liked these chapters about dating when you're older. I was reading them going, oh, my goodness me. They were talking about dating sites and everything, and I think it might have, put me off ever doing that. But there really is, it's a whole range of, you might think that this book doesn't apply to you, but it kind of applies to everyone, and has some really wonderful resources in it and ways to actually address whatever part of the book applies to you, how to address that in your life and how to become more connected to people. What can I show you here? Oh, I like this one. The myth of multitasking. See, multitasking doesn't work. You just stick to one thing at a time. And, next on my to be read pile, Melissa, our hormones are responsible for so much. I think you're talking about So Effing Tired. Yes. Definitely put that on. And so this is a really, really great book. I think especially for families, it has a lot in here about young people and how to give them the tools to move into being adults who actually understand how to connect. I think there's a lot of young people who just have never been taught that. Go and listen to the podcast. Maggie Hamilton is extremely fascinating. That's on our website or on our Stories Behind the Story link. We might put the link here for you just so you can follow that up. Mary says connection is so important. Maybe I should do one book at a time. Multitasking. Okay, all right. So I was wrong, Mary. I multitask when it comes to reading. But apart from that, I'm trying to just go, okay, let's focus and just get this one thing done in my life and the next and the next. So our brains are not wired up for it normally. So except with books, okay? Anyway, that's a great book. As per usual with this segment, I'm going to be putting these books into a book list on our website, and that will be shared across Facebook as well, and it will be in the EDM. So if you're wondering about any of the books that I mention, it will be up on the website by the end of the week. I'm just going to give one more shout out to Raising Girls Who Like Themselves. Had a couple of emails about this, asking about this, and once again, it is on our website. And I do believe the kids page actually did a review on it, or shared some stuff about it anyway. But I wanted to give a shout out because I've had another look at this book too, and I've just told a few of my friends who have daughters. I don't. I can't even imagine what it's like to raise girls today. But I think this book helps. It's amazing. And what is so wonderful about this book is as an adult woman, I've read a lot of it and gone, oh, okay, do I have that? What can I tick off on this list? What great advice? Okay, so it really is a book for females. And if you have daughters or know someone with daughters, there, Raising Girls, I think Casey Edwards and Dr. Christopher Scanlon, I think it is an excellent book for all families with daughters. Okay, so I think that's about it. I'm going to head off now. I've got some really great books coming up next month, which will be at the end of March. And as I said, this is all going to be on the website. Keep all the messages coming. People are contacting us about Better Reading Bee. Oh, Nicole, my latest nonfiction was Growing Up Disabled in Australia. Do you know we've actually just talked about that this morning, believe it or not, and we have a copy of it here on the shelf, and we're all looking at it, and we will mention that next time. And actually we're going to be mentioning it in What Are You Reading, because we're all having a read of it this week. So thank you, Nicole. It looks amazing. Can't wait for my turn to get my hands on it. Everyone, I will see you next time. I really hope that, some of the books that we're sharing, that you go out and you get them and in some way they support you, or, help you be a better version of yourself, and let us know what you're looking for. Like, email me, jane@betterreading.com.au. Let me know what subject areas you're looking for that would help you out, and I'll keep my eye out. But until next time, bye. I'll see you.